Wow, my special thanks to African Nazarene University and specifically the Student Service Assistant Reverend Richard Mugwongo. My name is Johnson Mwakazi and I am delighted and honored to have this session with you. Indeed, in times like these, as we battle with COVID-19, there is need for more intentional approach in creating opportunities for student engagement. Cheza Kawewe, overcoming hardship and challenges. This theme is indeed at the core of what many of us need and must hold on to. During these times, we must never lose sight of our focus and vision. Somebody once said, when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high and you want to smile but have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Rest if you must, but don't you quit. You know, imagine years ago, when human beings did not have sophisticated weapons for hunting their prey. How did they survive? How did they do it? You see, the Sun people, for instance, used what they used to call persistence hunting. Persistence hunting. They would literally run down their prey. They would literally run after their prey until it gave up.
These are the San people of the Kalahari Desert, the last tribe on Earth to use what some believe is the most ancient hunting technique of all, the persistence hunt. They run down their prey. They will concentrate on the bull. He will be carrying a heavy set of horns and therefore will tire more quickly. To do that, they must separate him from the herd so that his tracks won't be confused by those of others. The heat is hard on the hunters, but they're now close enough for the next stage in the hunt, the chase. This was how men hunted before they had weapons, when a hunter had nothing more than his own physical endurance with which to gain his prize. The chase has lasted 8 hours. Hunter and hunted are both at the end of their strength. Neither can go on much longer. And then the kudu collapses from sheer exhaustion. It's close to death. Karoe's spear throw now is scarcely more than a symbolic gesture.
You know, in the midst of the chaos and winds of fear, if we only choose to focus on that which is possible and eternal, we will witness the extraordinary and miraculous. This is what I call focused faith. Number one, focused faith. Thousands of years ago, these people were moving towards a future that they desired. But just before they could go further, their worries became real, and their worst fears emerged. The Egyptians had one charge: to kill. But it was at this time that their leader brought focus from the fear. He called out to them not to fear, but stand still and see their deliverance. Behold, the sea split in front of their own eyes, and they were able to pass through. In the words of the psalmist, Psalm 27, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked advance against me, it is my enemies and my foes who will stumble and fall." The psalmist continues in Psalm 91, "Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust." You go to the very far end of Psalm 91 and it says, "Because he loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for he acknowledges me. He will call on me and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and I will honor him, and with long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation." You know, focused faith says, "Fear not, be still." Fear not, be still. Now, just some thoughts here on focus. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. Oh, yes. Focus is a matter of deciding what things you're not going to do. If you just focus on getting better and not being the best, you have such a good time. Once I lose focus, that's when I'm going to go tumbling down the hill. And finally, the difference between the greats and the legends is their ability to focus for longer periods of time. You know, Godwin Ochieng wakes up every morning at 5 a.m. He would like to give himself a day off, but for the sake of his wife and child, he dare not. He has a focused purpose. Number 2, he has a focused purpose that goes beyond himself. He knows many are enriched through what he does.
My day is always very busy. I don't even have time to rest. I start working at the dump site at 5 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I wish I could give myself a day off, but it's not possible. I sort the trash because I'm trying to earn a little money. I'm no longer alone. I have a wife and child now. And they're waiting for me to come back with milk or bread in the evening. They'll complain if I come home empty-handed. Sometimes I might be lucky and find some packed meat and chips here. And that would be lunch for today. Just like that. Some might think this is not a good job. If they see me looking as dirty as I am now, they might look down on me. But I know what I'm getting out of it. Do you see these people around here? They depend on us. They're mainly here because of meat. Maybe they live somewhere nearby and they haven't had anything to eat yet today. You see these containers? I arrange them on paper on the floor. I employ a guy who comes in on Sundays and weekdays to wash, clean, and dry them. When they look clean and shiny, people buy them. If I sell these containers today, then I might get about 300 to 400 shillings. That's enough to feed my family for today and even tomorrow afternoon before I get back home after work.
The 10 square meter room that Godwin Ochieng shares with his wife Lorna and their daughter Eliana costs about $35 a month. Ochieng lives in constant fear of being unable to pay the rent. He can't imagine trash as a luxury object. He uses it to feed his family and furnish his home.
It's hard. All these years, we've grown up with hardship. I grew up like that, and I would like to get away from hardship and have a good life. And if you don't struggle, you will stay poor, always.
There are those who have money and those who don't. If you don't have much and you compare yourself with those who do, you will get hurt. So if you don't have much, it is better not to stress yourself. One day you will make it.
One day you will make it through the power of focused purpose. Focused purpose. It starts with focused faith. Then you can develop that focused purpose. For those who know my story, I give thanks to God because of the grace to have focused purpose. Being born and raised in Kibra slums, my mother working as a cleaner at the city center, earning about 3,000 shillings, equivalent to $30 per month. Getting the opportunity to travel the globe due to a poem I wrote and recited. My university education being paid for and being given an opportunity to work. All these have been key reminders that I must work and live with focused purpose. Not only for the sake of my family, but also for the many whom God will use me to inspire and encourage. And that's not just my story, that is also your story, and many others also can have the same story. It is a daily resolve to walk with focused purpose. I remember in 2013, after reading the afternoon news, I was alerted regarding a breaking news story. At first, I was informed that there was this fire breakout somewhere in Westlands, Nairobi. Little did I know that the story would bring the whole nation to a standstill. It was a terrorist attack at Westgate Mall.
The difference between life and death for tens of people at the Westgate shopping mall was literally minutes. Hours of footage procured by KTN shows the siege as it began to unfold at exactly 12:31 p.m. on the 21st of September. And the carnage that came after is difficult to fathom. People scramble and crawl on their bellies as gunshots fly over their heads. Some almost make it to safety, but the hail of gunfire puts paid to their desperate tries.
The terrorists mercilessly killing innocent people. I remember this mother lying down, protecting her children, and her resolve to stay that way until help finally came in the midst of the fear and panic.
Everybody was running, and some people, but I didn't have time to see where people were going, which was the safest place. Then before long, there were gunshots everywhere. So then I just knew, okay, this is it. I asked my children, lie down. I just moved the little one and I covered him, and the shots were all over the place, and I was so scared. And all this time we were just praying. My daughter was just saying, Jehovah, Jehovah, Jehovah. And at some point, even as I was praying, I told her she's too loud, because I said, now if this really are bad people, she's going to give away our hiding place.
I was scared, but I prayed. But then my mom told me to lower my volume so that they don't find us, the bad people.
So I quickly asked her to lie down and keep quiet. And at the same time, I kept on telling my son, shh, shh. And he understood, and we were praying. I was praying quietly. My daughter was praying. I could hear her. So we just lay there, and I can say, really, it was a miracle.
You know, I don't know what you call that, but I may call it focused peace. Focused peace. In the midst of chaos and uncertainties, we must develop focused peace. That does not allow us, that focused peace will not allow us to just move out of panic and fear, but will allow us to be still, to be still. Yes, everywhere things are going, whatever they're doing, things are not all right. Fear, panic, worry, anxiety. But you can just have that focused peace where you can be still and know that there is a way, even when we are blinded from seeing that way. You know, in this journey of life, as we grow and become better, we may experience some rough encounters from those whom we supposedly overtake. Sometimes running may not be enough. We may need to fly. Sometimes, after a fall, we cannot afford to stay down. We must pick ourselves up and continue on. And who knows, we may just win the race. And sometimes finishing first may not be the priority. Sometimes others may pass by. Sometimes we may be forced to pass by. But sometimes stopping to help a brother finish the race may just be the ultimate winning prize. So friends, let us live with focused faith, focused purpose, and desire that focused peace, regardless of what happens around us. God bless you, and God bless Kenya. Thank you so much.